Today we're going to be talking about science tools. There's a variety of tools used in scientific investigations. It's important to be familiar with these tools and follow all the safety rules. And you can see a lot of tools right here that these kids are using. Okay, a science notebook is important throughout an investigation for recording ideas, observations, and data. Now, observations are, just what you find out about what we're talking about. Okay, what you can sense with your senses are your observations. A camera phone or tablet can be used to record observations like images and sounds. A hand lens is used to magnify the details of things like rocks, insects, and plants. And we'll talk about a little later on in the year that a magnifying glass and a microscope, telescope, all refract light. During outdoor science activities, you may use a compass to find a direction. I kind of doubt we're going to be doing that this year outside, but you never know. Collecting nets can be used for capturing insects to study. So we're probably going to do something like that. Be careful when handling living things. Always treat them with respect. A telescope uses lenses and mirrors to make faraway objects appear closer. So remember, lenses, just like in a magnifying glass, refract light, and mirrors reflect light. You can see craters on the moon's surface with the telescope. Okay, a microscope uses lenses and mirrors to make microscopic things appear larger. These are too small to see with the unaided eye. You might use a microscope to observe plant cells. And remember, a microscope refracts light. A prism is used for studying light rays. And I have one of those that I'm going to show you a little later on in the year. And prisms also refract light. It refracts light, which splits light rays into a spectrum of 6 colors. Okay, the spring scale measures weight, which is the force of gravity on an object. So we're going to be talking about the difference between mass and weight. Remember, weight has to do with the pull of gravity. A balance is used to measure mass, which is the amount of matter in an object. Mass is measured in grams. And the weird thing about mass is that mass doesn't change no matter where you are. So your mass on Earth would be the same as your mass on the moon, even though the gravity is different. It has nothing to do with gravity. That's weight. Okay, rulers, meter sticks, and measuring tapes may be used to measure distance or length. Y'all have used those before. In science, distance is measured in kilometers, meters, or centimeters. So we always use the metric system in science. A graduated cylinder is used to measure the volume of liquids. So volume is how much space something takes up. Okay, this liquid's volume is 127 milliliters. Beakers are used to hold and measure liquids. This is a graduated cylinder. This is a beaker. We're going to be using these a few times this year. Hot plates are used to boil water or to heat liquids. Only use these with the permission or supervision of your teacher. So you could actually, burn yourself on one of these. We're going to be using hot plates to evaporate water later on in the year. The Celsius thermometer is used to measure temperature. With the stopwatch or clock, you can measure time during experiments. Okay, you might use a calculator to complete math calculations more quickly. Probably going to have you work out your math problems on paper. Computers are useful for researching information and sharing ideas. We're going to be doing this a lot this year, researching information. Okay, you can also use a computer to create graphs, tables, and maps. Notebooks and computers are useful for recording conclusions and creating pictures to illustrate them.